I'm committing to 2 basic things. Well, not basic. I'm committing to 1, call parents more often with more depth in the conversation, and 2, deeply engage with more students about their future and kind of be someone who's going to probe into it. And I'm going to do that because I want to overcome the underlying fear of confrontation that I have that kind of holds me back from doing that sometimes, and not assume that there are going to be adverse interactions during those interactions.
Great. I like that model. Can folks follow that? Just state your commitment, be succinct, but also tell us why you're making that commitment potentially. Yeah.
I'm committing to making at least 1 high-level, purposefully planned lesson plan for each unit by March for economics, and I want to do that because I want my students to get more engaged in like my class, and thinking that education is just awesome. And I think if I have really good lesson plans, then they'll think education is awesome. And so that is what I'm committing to. And I drew a picture of a supply and demand graph, but instead of supply it says start, instead of demand it says do it, so that I'll make myself do it. So I'm going to keep this on my wall.
Oh my gosh. Love that.
Hey, I don't have a diagram.
How do you follow?
I know. So my commitment, I think, I say this a lot here because I think this is kind of where it's applicable. I opt out completely. I'm not into this, and I'm not into really the idea of TFA kind of in general. So I think my challenge, and I don't know if it's really a commitment at this point, I'll be honest about that. I think my challenge at this point is to be more open to it, because I think there are a lot of things that I have opted out of, specifically last year, that I think probably could have benefited me. This year I think it's more about opting into like the idea of community, and that's such a buzzword, but I think like we were talking, like I don't do anything in Atlanta. Like I don't know anyone in Atlanta. I just don't have a group of friends really here, which I've kind of created because I have totally opted out. And so I think it's less about my kids like yours were, and more about me personally just like putting myself more into whatever it is that's offered to me.
Appreciate that.
So my commitment is to track my students' progress more often, because I feel like a lot of times I feel like I know where they're at, but I feel like they don't know where they're at themselves, and I think that could be really beneficial for them. So that's something I'm going to commit to, actually like share that with them more often.
Okay. I commit to being okay with my failures, and I believe, like me personally, I'm not okay when I fail, but like when my students fail, I praise them and it's okay and it's everything like that. But when I fail, I'm a little harder on myself. So I think once I ease up on myself failing from time to time, they'll believe me when I tell them it's okay, that when they fail.
My commitment is to do a better job of drawing the connection for my students of what they're doing now in the classroom and in school period directly affects their future and their future outcomes, or may or may not limit their opportunities that they may have. And the reason I'm doing that, or making that my commitment, is because I want my students to come to school with a purpose and not just come into school just to be here. I want them to like treat school as their job, like this is what you're doing to better yourself for your future and hopefully kind of change the cycle.
I don't know why they're laughing. They're laughing. You sound so happy. I am committing to, even though it's the last the last semester of school, I'm getting to know my students with disabilities better. My initial commitment that I wanted to make was find out how to advocate more for my special education students, and find alternate placements, or find out supplementary things that are actually going to help them be successful in my classroom, not just in the classroom, but like as a student in general. So I have to let my wall down a little bit and not already tell myself that I am not a good teacher for them. So I need to get to know them, and I think that that will impassion me to do the work that I need to do for them, as opposed to already telling myself that like I'm alone in this, I'm the only person that wants this for my students in the setting that I'm in. and trying to work more collaboratively with people that have a better knowledge of what it means to be a special education student and what it's going to take to get them to a good place as a student in light of their learning disabilities.
My commitment is to provide my students with an opportunity to realize their strengths and passions so that they can see the importance of education and know what it means to invest in their future. I feel like our students don't understand what education is, and if they develop a sound future goal or vision, then they'll see their purpose.
My commitment is to push my seniors to really critically think about the long term and what they want to pursue, and focus on really. Oh wait. And focus on really ensuring that they know the obstacles ahead, and it's going to take me to really explain to them the obstacles ahead and be realistic with them, and hopefully guide them in the right direction.
I guess my commitment's kind of more personal also, not necessarily my kids, but right now I'm committed to finding out, this is so weird, really close, where I fit in the movement. So like we were talking about earlier, like where I am needed. I'm kind of with Brittany where I'm like feeling really lost. I know school's coming to an end. I don't want to get to May and have no idea what I'm doing afterwards. So finding out long term like how I fit into this movement is really what I'm committed to right now.
So a little bit changed from hers is that I'm committed to keeping education in my next steps. So right now I'm looking at public health, graduate schools, and so trying to keep that connected, because I have noticed a lot of problems that our students face that aren't solely based in their education. And I think that Teach for America has molded me to such an extent that I can't actually let this community go without losing part of myself. And so I think that if I'm able to go into graduate school and maintain that connection to Carver and to my students, would really bring me alive and keep what I want in my life.